Let's be honest, the reason you haven't started learning Spatial SQL yet isn't because you aren't smart. It's because the setup is miserable. In the old world, you had to be a systems administrator just to write your first select statement. You had to manage ports and users and passwords. I spent over 3 years learning Spatial SQL, and I learned it through Stack Overflow, thick documentation, and sometimes just prayers that it would all work. And when you get stuck, you might have to wait for a stranger on the internet to tell you your syntax was wrong. That world is all gone. If I lost all my knowledge and had to start over today, I could learn those 3 years of material in 3 weeks. The game has completely changed, and here is my exact roadmap on how you can do that today. If I had to start all over, I actually wouldn't install PostGIS. Well, not yet. I would actually start with something like DuckDB or SedonaDB. Now, the reason why is because it can run right on your laptop as a single file and a simple installs. You can even just use Python to install it. It's so easy to get started. There's no password, there's no port 5432. You can just query files, right? Even if you're using shapefiles and GeoJSONs or CSVs, whatever that is, all you have to do to get started is install these libraries, connect it to the data, and start writing queries. You focus 100%, well, maybe 95%, on the language and less on the infrastructure. So how do you actually do that? Now, to install DuckDB, you can actually use this directly, go directly to this console on the internet, and actually start writing against it. You have to load the spatial extension to get access to some of the spatial features, but you can query things like Parquet files, any of the data that's on Source Cooperative, or local files as well. To do that, you'll need to actually install DuckDB, but it's really simple to get started. For SedonaDB, it's pretty much the same. You can install it using Python. If you've never set up Python before, it's pretty easy. Go take the documentation to your AI tools and get set up, and then it's actually really easy to start writing queries. Now you can start writing statements, start writing select star from, start using where statements, whatever you want to do. You can now just start writing SQL and get the feel for it. Your setup time has gone down to literally minutes or seconds in this case. Now take a look at this screen, right? There's two different things here. And let's say you're trying to figure out all the coffee shops within 500 meters of a transit station or a specific intersection, right? The hardest part of SQL isn't the logic. You know what you want to do. It's actually nailing that syntax, right? SQL can feel unnatural if you haven't done it before. Do I put the geometry first? How do I add my columns in? Where should it go? How does the ordering go? All of those different things, right? In the past, you memorized this through repetition. You did it over and over and over. Today, you don't have to do that. You can use AI as your active tutor. What you should do, don't ask the AI just to write your code for you. You're never going to learn it or really fully understand it. You have to ask it to explain the code as it goes along. And you can ask questions of it. That's probably the most important thing. Why'd you use a left join here? What does st-intersects actually do? How does it work? All these things you can get an instant feedback loop that Stack Overflow never gave you in the past. Now, what you should do is write some statements yourself, actually go through the documentation, do a few different things. And then if you hit a problem, you should go ahead and ask it what it does, and then start to build. Start really simple. You don't have to do everything in one shot, but build that over time. You can really get good and start doing that and move a lot faster than you could before. Look, I believe in this approach so much that I literally wrote a book on it. No matter what path you choose, if you want to read the book or try to get your hands dirty right away, the most important part is getting started and actually writing queries. We do a lot of that in the spatial lab, and there's several different tracks depending on the stage of your geospatial education that you're at that you can choose from. Everything from beginner all the way to advanced leadership. Now, specifically in the builder track, we have a focused section on Spatial SQL that'll help you get those pieces together. There's also a roadmap, and there's a SQL section there that's really focused in on helping you understand which tools to use when, how to build that, and the functional knowledge to help put all this together. Plus, you're surrounded by others learning the same thing as well, communicating, sharing ideas, building projects, and working to up-level and upskill. So if you want to stop being intimidated by code and start cruising through your data, check out the Spatial Lab and join below. There's a link in the description. I'd also love to hear how you're using AI to help solve some of these different challenges in your process today, and maybe how are you learning SQL right now? Let me know in the comments. Now, here's an important point in step 3. There's a few things AI can't do for you. AI can write the syntax, but it can't define the logic, right? One of the biggest pieces in learning SQL is moving to this procedural thinking. Step 1, step 2, step 3 is into this like set-based thinking, right? Packing all of that logic into a single query and doing it in the most efficient way possible. Now, if you're used to something like a model builder in QGIS or ArcGIS, or even in Python, you think in that procedural thinking, steps of data, things like that. A query can do a lot of that and a majority of these things in one single statement. That's really what it's built for. So one way to do this is actually using AI to build a visual diagram of what this looks like, right? You can actually use AI to visualize what's taking place and help you do that. Maybe give it a map of a visual step that you want to process. I want to take some data, create a buffer, do an intersection, all these different things, and then can help you visualize and map that out. I find that these visual tools or image creation can be a big help, even if it does it just in a basic way to help you understand that, and then translate that into a query and a query plan, right? It can help you understand where there's efficiencies, the changes it made, all those different things. Really, when you really understand the shape of the data and how to pull it together, the code will start to present itself and become a lot easier as time goes on. All right, so what should you actually do? Now, all of this is great, but what's a really good way to get started? So a simple project and a data set I love is this data set. It's the New York City Tree Census. It's lots of information about different trees in different areas, and the New York City data portal has a ton of other data in it, things like boundaries, neighborhoods, transportation, bike routes, all that different stuff. And you can ask a lot of questions of this. What is the bike route that has the most trees along it? What is the neighborhood that has the most maple trees? You can do some of these very basic things and do that. So here's what I would do, and here is your homework if you choose to accept this challenge. Don't just go through a tutorial. Try to focus in on something that's really interesting to you. Answer that question with the 311 data, and then try to go off on your own and do it. Pick a question you actually care about, right? What is the neighborhood with the most green space? How can you pull that data from your local data portal? How can you bring that in? How do you quickly connect it in to something like DuckDB and SedonaDB and help you write that query and use these tips along with Claude or ChatGPT or Gemini, whatever you choose to use to help answer that, right? That project alone will help you learn and answer more than watching all these videos. Look, I had to learn the hard way. I had to pay the setup tax, I had the frustration tax, I had the Stack Overflow tax, right? You don't have to. You are currently living in the golden age of learning. These tools that are free and open and fast to get started, and you have a tutor that's infinite and patient to go along with you in AI. If you do anything, get started. If you're looking for some different projects and a community that can support you along this journey, check out the Spatial Lab. I dropped a link in there below, but there's a lot of ways to get started. So no matter what, I hope you pick up this tutorial, take some different things forward, and actually write some Spatial SQL queries. I hope you enjoyed this, and I will see you in the next video.